Can you hear me?
10-4. Are we good, Jess?
Up, we're going to full volume.
All right. Hey, welcome, YouTube universe, internet universe. This is Ken and Scott and Jesse and Kevin. We're coming to you live from Tom's, as they call it, Twin Oaks Middle School, Laker Field, former home of the Lakers. Got Wildcat JV lacrosse here. Our gracious host, the Prior Lake Lakers, on this really, really nice Monday afternoon. Scott?
Yeah, absolutely. A warm day, in fact. Players will need to stay hydrated today. It's a crazy to think a couple weeks ago we were probably worrying about frostbite. Now we're like, oh, stay hydrated. It's warm, especially down on that turf field, but should be a good day for lacrosse here.
Absolutely. So we got the JV squad from Eagan in town, having some success this season against this Laker JV team. Then coming later this evening will be the varsity offering, same schools, of course, and that should be a real spirited contest, and one, too, Scott, that's going to factor into some postseason play.
Yeah, it sure will. We had another top 10 matchup for Eagan coming off of one on Thursday, and Prior Lake's undefeated. They're rolling. State tournament participant last year, a state champion the prior year. It's a big game. It has implications, on sectional seeds and on eventual state tournament seeds, providing both of those squads make the trip to Minnetonka/Chanhassen later this spring.
Right on. All right, the goalies are tapping gloves here. Looks like they're heading down to their respective nets, and within a moment or two, I'm going to get this contest underway. This is your Eagan Prior Lake JV lacrosse battle, May 7, 85 degrees here in the nice town of Prior Lake, Minnesota.
Well, today we'd like to believe we'll have a competitive game. The game against Rosemount last week, which we weren't on the air for, started out competitive. Didn't certainly turn out that way in the second half as Eagan pulled away. But just again with the size of the program here from Prior Lake, the success they've had, understand they have two separate 9-10 teams. I would expect to see a competitive JV team, and that this might be a little bit closer than our first three games.
Absolutely. We've had a really, really good success, and it'd be nice to see a game that kind of stays toe-to-toe right through the end there. Little push, Prior Lake with possession, moving up to get the touch.
Well, Prior Lake setting up here. Eagan defense will get a first test in this early in the game here. See if they can create a turnover and get the ball moving the other way.
Yeah, I know, Scott. In some of the first few games of the season, the polls have been a little less active, and it's kind of nice to have the ball down on our end here for a little bit as the Prior Lake Laker comes up and another unforced error. Not another one, but it's one that's kind of haunted some of the games we've called this year, the opponents for the Wildcats.
Right, and that one I think looked like maybe just a miscommunication between the middies. The midi here on the near side of the field went one way, and the ball simply went the other. So Eagan will have possession, and wow, Prior Lake putting some good pressure on, and we got a ball on the ground right now, and it looks like Prior Lake came up with the ground. Oh, take that back. Yep, it'll be white ball.
All right. All right. Back to setting up are the Lakers.
Good physical recovery there. The Prior Lake player got a step around the Eagan player and was able to get that correction and force an errant shot there.
Yeah, nice save by the Wildcat goalie, clearing up to the middle, but not quite making the connection. Lakers get possession again. This is probably collectively more time in our zone than we've played in some full quarters so far in this young JV season.
Yeah, I would agree. The game is 2.5 minutes old, and we've been on one side of the field. Typically, we've been talking exactly as you say, the other way around, and looks like, there we go, we got a turnover, and now Wildcats in possession.
And they're off.
There we go. Let's see what we can do here.
Cats with the touch, and they're going to set up down the Laker end. Nice defensive stand by the Cats, having played a little bit more early on than they had in a while. A couple of little fast feet, good recovery, a couple of errant shots and passes, and we got snake bitten on that one. Talking about the unforced errors, Lakers will take over.
And, they're again in the early minutes of the game, just trying to observe Prior Lake here. Bit more athletic, a bit more bigger, a bit more skilled than the three opponents Eagan's faced so far. And I think there's going to be an adjustment period throughout the course of the game. It's like, okay, this isn't going to be easy. We're going to have to work for this. And what you've seen is a couple of errant passes. I hesitate to say sloppiness, but, got to make the adjustment to a little better quality opponent today.
I didn't catch what happened there. Offsides. Ball turned over Wildcat possession. But I would agree. We've been kind of physically and maybe athletically on the favorable side so far this year as Prior Lake brings it in and gets a touch. A couple personnel changes. Shot over the net. Just under 8 minutes left here in this first quarter. Kind of been a little bit back and forth. Kind of a moving pick behind the net there as Prior Lake recovers the over and back and does actually pick the ball up and recover, and here comes a hit. Nice work by the Poles again. Again, these Poles are trying to step up and send a message that they're part of this program as well, because they stand around a lot for the first 3 games this season.
Yeah, they're eager to play their nice ground ball pickup by Cody Rader, moving it up the field and setting up the attack here. Again, not the crispest passing early in the game. Prior Lake, the Poles, the middies playing really tight, forcing Eagan to make a play. Again, what just happened there? The first 3 games, that's an easy shot for Eagan and likely a goal. What you saw there is 3 white jerseys converging on the attack man and creating a turnover.
No, we hadn't seen that so far this year. The offense for the Cats have been able to kind of do what they want. They've had a lot of space to operate. They've been able to execute pass after pass after pass. And now they just got white jerseys all over them at different points. And turnover by Prior Lake. Cats will take over. It's just a little bit of a different storyline tonight, which is good for the Cats coming into a game where they want to be challenged a bit.
There again, look at 1, 2, 3, 4 jerseys surrounding. That was Ben Willery with the shot there. The Lakers not giving Eagan a lot of room to operate.
Lakers trying to work that perimeter a bit and find that good shot. Being held kind of at bay. Couple of different picks. They're trying to open up some space for themselves again. When we're in our end, we can play athletically with everybody we've played thus far. Nice save.
Carter Starkey in goal for the first half for the Wildcats.
Ooh,
good stop there.
Yeah, kind of a high percentage pass right out front there. Was successful. Nice stick check. Lakers coming back again. Oh, that's wide, and that is going to be blue ball. Wow. Nice effort on the part of I think they were calling that a shot, and our goalie got a stick out there. Beautiful. Might have been awarded for some of that effort. Starkey clears to Merwin. Looking. Yeah, not the best pass. Didn't connect right with the Lakers. Oh, boy.
Hey, you know, despite the turnover, nice hustle. Getting back, and Prior Lake for a moment there had a 3-on-1 set up, and there was a good hustle getting him back in the defensive zone to slow down the Prior Lake's midi there, and slow down that rush. That was a dangerous looking situation.
Yeah, we definitely kind of got the head start for him, but we kind of recovered too. So now the ref's going to try to set a pick. Still scoreless here, about 4 minutes remaining, quarter one JV. Wildcats, Lakers in Prior. Another nice save. Nice opportunity for the Poles to kind of get a body on someone, but instead they're still trying to play in that spatial game, and that's all right. Cats move it in. A lot of action down below. A ground shot with a save. Laker goaltender who has taken it out well across the midline, looking and looking. Kind of a rainbow over to the sideline, and Lakers on the offense here. Both teams have had their problems with 100% crisp passes, but so it's been pretty even as far as that goes.
Absolutely. So far the Eagan's playing the defensive end. They're doing some good things. They're keeping shots to the outside. When Prior Lake makes a move, they recover. Feet are moving. So got a ground ball there. Got an opportunity for a pickup, and looks like we got it. Cole Gibson picks that up off the ground, starts moving up the field.
Fast too.
Yeah, good speed there.
Oh. All right. Little errant catch, but recovery by the Cats. All right, slowing it down a little bit out of the Wildcats. We are scoreless here in quarter one.
Looks like Eagan's now got kind of their first somewhat prolonged possession in the offensive end, and I got a flag on the field. That should be an infraction against the Lakers, a tackle, if you will.
Going to a man-up situation probably here. We've that Laker goalie's had a couple of nice saves. I think that we've probably seen more shots against us than we've put on their goaltender so far. And here come the Cats.
Well, right now it's about getting a good quality shot, getting the right shot we have, and I don't think we've seen what we would describe as a quality look yet from the Wildcats in the offensive end. So here's an opportunity to work the ball, look for that opening, and take advantage of it, and let's get a good quality shot in on the goaltender.
If there's been any, this is always a nice opportunity when you're a man up as the Lakers get possession and are bringing it upfield. It's always a nice opportunity to get a chance to move the ball around unabated when you're a man up, but we're kind of tossing it back and forth. Big save.
Big stop by Carter Starkey.
All the poles were caught well out of position, it appeared, and big save by the Wildcat netminder on that one. Lakers with the ball. We're under a minute here in quarter one. Back to full strength. And again, there's a nice, going to work out well for the Wildcats, a turnover. Once that ball gets up, facing that direction, you're not coming down with it looking into the sun.
No. And it's interesting. The errant pass looks to be, that's happened a couple times prior. Like, it looks to be a result. It's of the sender, not the receiver.
Absolutely.
If it was coming right at the receiver, I hear you. The sun's bright even up in the booth here. But they just appear to be lofted errant passes. And
it's windy, but it's not that windy. One of those situations.
No, right. No. So we got 10 seconds left. Eagan's going to try and get a shot off here before the buzzer. Again, another stop by Prior Lake's goalie.
Yeah, he might have just kicked it wide.
Well,
that'll do it. Cats should retain possession as we head into quarter two. After one, nothing.
Well, we've got our competitive contest now.
I think so.
We're thinking would happen maybe once or twice before, and now we've got it. It's 0-0. There have not really besides that last chance there at the end of the quarter, there hadn't been any really good scoring opportunities for the Wildcats.
It's been pretty quiet. And again, too, on that penalty on the Lakers, it would have been a nice chance to start to work that perimeter game and just build a little confidence, because we've seen, even in full-strength situations, the Wildcats JV team has moved the ball around well. This is a perfect example of them being well matched up athletically, probably size and speed-wise, and maybe for the first time this year so far at the JV level. So
right, again, probably a more sophomore/junior driven roster from Pike. We don't have the roster in front of us.
Well, you had mentioned that there's 2 9-10 teams out this way. So, we've seen JV teams that we've played that have been predominantly freshman rosters.
Right.
So, those are marked differences just in the whole maturation thing and the size, strength, speed, whole thing, knowing the game at this level, which is faster than the 9-10 and certainly faster than the association levels. So huddle up and trying to make a game plan here as we are going to switch sides and head into quarter 2. It is warm, and I think that's something that, you start off your spring sports in parkas.
Yeah, you do.
Trying to shake the ice off the outside of your water bottles, and all of a sudden, boom, it's upper 80s, and you have to remind the kids, drink, drink, drink. And I see the big Gatorade coolers, which I'm assuming – and we might have brought it down, but it seems like sometimes the host team will fill one up for us, and
right.
Just easier as far as transporting. But yeah, drink, 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 guys. We definitely need to stay hydrated today.
Well, and if it's 87, 85 degrees in the air, like I do, when you take a step on that turf field, the temperature rises by 15 or 20 degrees, and you can feel it even standing near it, and that's standing there, much less running around. Particular our middies, LSM, right there, moving up and down the field, and there's some heat coming up. It gets hot on the feet. It creates hot, and these are quick games, but you still got to keep yourself hydrated and cool and stay focused so you can perform as the game rolls on.
Right on. Quarter 2 underway. Big scrum for the ball. Looks like PL's gonna get possession. One of their poles, maybe an LSM. Stick checked away. Wildcat ball.
All right, the Wildcats got possession off the face-off and didn't spend a lot of time in the offensive zone in the first quarter, but looking to change that a little bit here.
Yeah, it's definitely would be nice to get on the board, but just having possession in the Prior Lake end is going to be kind of a switch right now. Been a little slow in the first quarter.
Oh, the turnover there.
Yeah, they're trying to do a few different things. I mean, the last 2 exchanges with Eagan getting the ball back here, a couple of those no-look fake passes, and they're trying a few things different. That's a high one, and that is going to stay.
Well, over and back call on the Wildcats.
I think he had it there for a second. Not sure about the body and space aspect of that rule, but he had the ball on the correct side of the line for a minute. Couldn't get control of it. Laker ball. Wow.
Huh. More? Yeah. Seems to be the theme of the day right now.
It really does.
Passes floating over people's heads. That can be a result of a good competitive game. That can be a result of good defensive play, good aggressive defensive play. Both teams are doing it. They're not giving each other a lot of room to maneuver. And one of the result of that will and can be turnovers.
We talked about the fact that the Wildcats might be more evenly matched than they have been so far this year. Could be the same thing for the Lakers too. They may, I don't know where their schedule's been as the Cats are moving it down. And got a penalty, a shot, and a big goal.
Nice work there. I believe it's Shaq Hintermeister receiving a pass, taking a step, and getting a quality shot off, and resulting in a goal. And we've got a flag on the field.
Yeah, I think sometimes too, given some of the mild futility we've seen, the tendency might be to shoot and just shoot and shoot and shoot. But you saw Hintermeister taking that pass, pulling it down, taking a step, getting back in. So he had the ability to say, this is where I'm going to put the ball. Shot, score. 1-0 Cats. All right, getting set for this face-off. 1-0 Wildcats, 8:40 remaining in this first half.
So I didn't see it, but it looked like Jack Thompson, a midfielder for the Wildcats, had been getting some attention from the trainer, and it doesn't appear he's returning. He certainly had been producing offensively, had some nice goals in the first few games. So, again, a speedster, a fast guy. If indeed he isn't able to return for the balance of the game, that hurts Eagan a little bit. A fast guy can create room for others right on the field.
Right. He might be favoring that left forearm or maybe his wrist. Not an uncommon place to get nicked up. I don't recall if that penalty was before the shot and the score. If it was a slash, the two could be related, of course. Cats behind the net, trying to create some space. Getting a little, oh, nice recovery. A drop and a shot wide left.
So we're seeing Eagan get some more chances at the net here, some more quality chances. Again, that last shot, it didn't result in a goal, but again, a quality shot, a good chance, and those will go in. You got to keep firing those, and they will go in.
Well, it looks like Thompson does have his bag, so they've got a pretty good idea as the goalie got faked out. Oh. Like an empty netter attempt by the Cats, and that's tough from 25 yards, so it was just wide left as you look at the net. 1-0 Cats, and again, we mentioned the Cats are sending someone off to the training room, packing some ice up.
Well, we hope it's just a bad bruise, right? That's what you can hope for in these situations, right? That it's nothing more serious than that. Uh-oh.
Another big save. Yeah, actually, that pole made a nifty little move there. They got an offside. They caught it, looks like. A late call. 30-second offside infraction. Yeah, that Laker pole made a nifty little move to our goalie's left. Got himself some nice space. I don't know if it was the most, the most ferocious shot, but again, nice save by the Wildcats goalie, preserving that 1-0 lead here with 6 minutes to play. Man down for 30.
Yeah, it's not too often you see a deep hole run down and have that kind of space to shoot that close to the net, but he did.
They're trying to create some room here while they got the man advantage. Still on the periphery, starting to work it in now. Not sure if the goalie got a foot on that or if it just stayed wide. Lakers will retain possession. And he's getting ready to even this up here. All right, we're back to full strength. Oh. Yeah, that ball up in the air, you want to see them sticks get a little quicker as we got a real quick rush from the goalie's right. High shot and a score, evening it at 1 apiece. Yeah, that was kind of a turnover. I kind of lost track of how that was going. You don't want to cough it up when you've got it.
Yeah, I mean, it just, again, it had a chance to regain possession there. Couldn't quite get the ball on the ground. The playing on turf, right? Different surface. If you're used to playing on grass, things move a little faster here. Again, a nice play by the Prior Lake player. Gets around, sneaks in a quick goal there. So we're all tied up at 1 here. Gosh, this game is moving fast. We're inside of 5 minutes in the second quarter already. Heading towards halftime here. 1-1 contest right now.
And certainly as Prior Lake wins that face-off, big stick check as the Cats try to bring it up across midfield. A lot of sticks flying around out there. Everyone's trying to disrupt things. There we
Good
go.
pickup there by Carter Starkey, our LSM.
It's certainly worth noting that there is a difference, you mentioned it, in the speed of the game between grass and turf, and teams that don't have to go back and forth may be able to get in a particular mindset. Certainly not a giant explanation as far as why this or that's happening, but just another factor.
Right, the ball, you're talking about how you field a ground ball, how fast that ball's moving around, how it bounces, how it plays. Turf is all over the place these days, but you have to adapt. But it is a different, it is a different game, and the condition of the field, the condition of the turf can impact that as well.
Oh, big shot. That might have been just a little high into the right as you look at the net, because he had a really good look there. A lot of patience down right at the base of the crease by one of the Wildcats to find that open guy. Created some space for himself, and the shot went just a little off the mark.
Prior Lakes picked up the ball, got possession. Again, a little short pass there, but they do maintain possession.
Here come the Lakers. Pretty quick charge. Flag down. Oh, boy.
Oh, good-looking shot there.
Yeah, it was a real good-looking shot. Perfectly placed off the left hip of the netminder. Just squeezed it in there. Flag coming.
Got a slash on Eagan.
2-1 Lakers now as we work our way to the 2-minute mark remaining quarter two.
I think in the first quarter, Prior Lake spent a lot of time in Egan's end. I think it got the Egan's defense goaltending in a bit of a rhythm, and we've seen more possession shift to Egan's side, and the rushes have been a little more sporadic, but it seems to have the Wildcats a little off balance. Another quick shot there.
Yeah, no, you bring up a valid point. You got to be able to shift between offense and defense, but there might have been a little rhythm change as the Lakers go up 3-1 here as we're closing in on the end of the first half. Go back to the face-off circle here.
Well, what you'd like to do here is win the face-off, get something and go in. It's 3-1 right now. You get one back. Look, goals can be scored fast in this game, but just from a little bit of a momentum perspective, we got the first one. They've answered with three pretty quick goals here in the second quarter. So you'd like to answer before halftime.
Yeah, those shots, the last two goals that have gone in, those shots are fairly close to the goalie. They're not point blank, but the Lakers have been able to move it inside a little bit more as Verbeek trying to find himself a look. One-minute mark remaining, quarter two. Cats with the possession down 3-1 here against the Lakers of Prior Lake. Probably looking for that last shot, maybe.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. At the rate things are going here, maybe you play catch for a bit and you settle for one good look inside of 10 seconds and see if you can put one past the goalie.
Well, just that repetitive passing is just going to establish a little rhythm. Again, it's the end of the first half, but we've been doing that in all of our games thus far. And again, I think we're just better. We're matched more evenly tonight than we have been up to this point. Ooh, so we think we got pushed out of bounds or a ball stick checked out of the stick of the Wildcat is around to 14 seconds. Lakers will take over. Looks like it's going to be
Eagan if they can get this back in play before, which they're not going to be able to do. Okay, well, it's halftime.
Awful lot of indecision there on everyone's part, so you are correct, sir. We are at halftime here. 3-1. Prior Lake Lakers, although the scoreboard would say otherwise, we'll let you know that the straight issue is it's 3-1 Prior Lake JV against the Cats in Prior Lake. We'll see you here right after this brief intermission.
Here we go.
All right, here we go. YouTube universe. This is Scott and Ken, Jesse. Kevin's roaming around somewhere. Did the important stuff, got us hooked up. We're back here, still actually, at Tom's Twin Oaks Middle School in Prior Lake, Minnesota for the JV Tilt. The Eagan Wildcats being hosted graciously by the Lakers of Prior Lake. And we got to issue up a real quick correction on the score. It's 2-1 Prior Lake, and the box here had it at 3-1. Apparently one of those goals, Scott, did not get in.
Yeah, from people in the know, that's what they tell us. And, you know, what a treat. You come back from your halftime break and find that your team is only one goal down instead of two. I mean, we made your day, right?
Absolutely. And I'll tell you something. We were just talking during the halftime festivities here about the heat. Mm-hmm. It is warm down there. And I think that's both teams are saying, wow, it is spring in Minnesota. Mid-80s can happen. So hopefully everybody's drinking tons of water down there as the Lakers get their touch and move it in.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, you look out at the forecast for the later part of this week, you see some 40s and 50s and rain. And as we can be fooled into thinking it's summer, spring will come back. So,
well, all those different weather scenarios present different challenges, you know, to these teams, whether it's just staying physically ready and able to play hydrated and whatnot, or, you know, being able to execute, you know, when the grass and the turf is wet and slippery and so on and so forth. So,
yep.
Like the Cats are going to have it and bring it out.
So we got a 2-1 game. We got a competitive game. And, you know, I think all of us want to see how the Wildcats respond.
Absolutely.
We were talking a little bit in the booth during halftime about the pressure from Prior Lake's defense, and they're not giving Eagan an inch. And there's ways to combat that and respond to that, and Eagan's got to get that done. And I would suspect that was part of what was going on in the halftime huddle, among a number of other things.
Sure.
But you got to be patient. You got to look for teammates. You got to look for opportunities to distribute the ball, and know those guys in white jerseys are going to be there.
Well, it's a perfect example. You know, like we talked about at halftime, they're making us play the perimeter game, and the pressure is applied on execution. And if you are going to pass the ball 15, 20 times, looking for that patient, perfect spot as the Wildcats disrupt a pass there. Number 17 with possession. That's Colbert making a move, getting strong, getting a look, and a goal.
Nice looking shot there.
So we talked earlier about you're going to make us pass, you're also going to make us execute, and that's where the pressure comes here. So now we even it up at 2 apiece, and also staying patient, you have to execute. So.
Yep. Hey, maybe that's the spark the Wildcats needed. You never like to say a team looks a little flat, but they looked a little out of sorts. Maybe sometimes that forced turnover and a quick goal to respond gets the game tied up. Let's see if it gives the Wildcats a little jolt of energy.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think there's any jaws that are on the turf because of the fact that the Lakers are matched up with us physically well. I think we knew coming into this game this was not going to be an all-freshman roster.
No.
Kids were going to be more normally proportioned as the Cats win the face-off, and a little stick check action, but a recovery. And another stick check, and the ball's back on the turf. Pohl picking it up for the Lakers, and he takes it across midfield looking for some room. You know, that last goal by the Cats, 17, Colbert, he just kind of pushed the issue and made his own space. And, you know, at a certain point, I think players have to say, you know, we've done this perimeter game. We've done this. Let's try something. And we got a decent look. Let's take the shot.
Maybe a little bit too much watching going on out there now on the defensive side.
Yeah, I think so. I think that guy, he ran around pretty cleanly. He found a nice shooting lane, and with that many bodies actually standing around, it doesn't make, you know, trying to keep track of the guy with the ball any easier. And just like that, we got a one-goal game again in favor of the Lakers.
Yeah, you know, it might be hot. Your feet might be burning down there, but gotta keep moving. You know, gotta keep moving, and you want to take away that top side shooting lane there. That's as we saw, a great place to score a goal, and you want to take that away and not let that player get that open shot there.
Well, just like that last Wildcat goal was just kind of a physical piece, find a way to make your own space. I think the Poles, as we got another errant pass and a turnover, or was it saved? Looks like it just got on the line, Laker ball. I think the Poles are going to respond, especially after that last run by the Lakers as they move in again. There's going to be some physical play here.
Oh, he's bobbling that ball. Never had it.
Apply the pressure. You know, I've always thought that when you, in a situation just like that where the offensive player is bobbling the ball and not quite certain whether I apply the body.
Yeah, it's a turnover.
It's a
That's
perfect
time.
Yeah, put the body on him, and that ball's on the ground.
I mean, the key here is keep them in front of you. Keep them in front of you. Keep your knees bent. Good, solid positioning, and take away those shots.
Yeah, you got to collapse on guys like that. Is exactly how it's done. Push or not, that is exactly how it's done. Make them reset.
Yep, and there. Yep, it's they got to reset. You got to take that away. I think a nice play there by the Wildcats in the defensive zone.
Like 3 blue jerseys just collapsed on him.
Mm-hmm.
There's sustained possession by the Lakers, up 3-2 here, halfway through quarter 3. Sun kind of dipped away.
Welcome relief here in the booth.
Right on.
Yeah.
And the field, too, I'm sure. The breeze still blows a little bit. I'm not sure if the Lakers are slowing it down a bit or if the perimeter defense has just been kind of a little more solid. They're looking for that good shot, too. The MO tonight has been the more passes that you try to execute, the more likely that ball's going to wind up on the turf. Real couple fast players here. That number 3 he's a smaller guy. He's awful quick. One of our faster pulls on him. A catch, a pass out of bounds. Blue ball. Looking for his outlet. Hand it off to a pull, and let's see what he does here. Back to the goaltender.
Must be in the genetic pool here in Eagan. Our goalies like to wander a little bit, right? You know, if you are a follow the varsity program, Jack Currington is never afraid to take the ball up the field.
No.
Zach Wallach following suit. They're wandering up the field and trying to make something happen. And boy, another tricky pass there.
It's funny that it is a possession game, and yet both teams are having a little trouble maintaining possession, although the sun isn't a factor on the receiving end as the Clouds for the moment are taking care of that. But Laker ball, and now their netminder, who's also made a trip across the midfield stripe, as he's saying, hey, I can do this too, and there he goes.
Now somebody needs to – he still has the ball, and he still has the ball. He wanted to get a shot off, and he did.
I think he did. You know, I'm not a goalie, but I have a feeling that's a big deal when you score. As a goalie, when you score on a goalie. So,
right.
Kudos to him for giving it a whirl. Lakers did maintain possession. Yeah, you can't get caught flat-footed. Oh, nice broken up in the middle by one of our poles.
That was Cody Rader, number 48. Nice recovery there. Got his stick on the stick. Little
kind of a loop-de-loop.
Well, yeah, those are – boy, when you loft those up there and you're putting it into that wind, that's, again, trying to make a play, trying to clear out and get, move down the field. But you put that ball up and it's going to float, right?
Well, it's spinning, too, so when it comes off the turf, it probably does react in a way that we're not used to. Aggressive defense,
nice defense
by the Wildcats, at least long enough to get some help in there and try to even the numbers here. Push white ball, and that's fine. Let them reset. We got to play a little more physical.
We got to get somebody on the side there.
Big save,
Big save.
A nice point-blank shot, too. Our goalie maintains possession, throwing it up the middle, just a little long.
Okay.
Lakers can't hold on. It's hot potato today, and maybe it's the heat. And here come the Lakers, kind of unabated, pretty big rush. Who's stepping up? Looks like Merwin stepped up, shot wide, maybe tipped a bit by the goalie. Lakers maintain possession, going back to the perimeter game. There's going to be a moment in this match where one of the two teams, kind of sets themselves up for that final quarter.
Yeah, I feel the same way. It's like we've kind of been in a little bit of a stalemate here through most of the three quarters. At times it looks like Prior Lake might be outplaying Eagan a little bit. But yeah, it feels like somebody's going to break through here. And, whether that's a big defensive stand, whether it's a great sequence of plays that leads to a highlight reel goal in the offensive end, it feels like that's how this one's going to finish. Somebody's going to step forward. And you know what? It's a tight contest. These are two good JV teams, and that's the difference in those games. Somebody has to step up and make a play.
Well, the polls on both sides have done their jobs, but there's been enough futility with regard to handling the ball that I don't think you can really applaud either defense as being locked down.
No.
The goalies have played every bit as good as the polls thus far in this 3-2 game in favor of the host Lakers. Here comes that goalie again. He's looking, makes a nice pass down low to our goaltender's right. Defense setting up, and there he comes unabated.
Okay.
Might have got a piece of it. It could have been wide. It's Laker ball. Again, that guy was rushing in. There was nobody out front. And so we have to make that correction fairly soon. I'm not sure if legs are getting heavy or if there's some miscommunication about who's marked up against who. But those are shots that if they're on the mark, it's a coin flip at best.
Right, yeah, that we can't. Those uncontested shots, they're risky, right?
Absolutely.
Oftentimes they're going to result in a goal. Nice defense there being applied by Cole Gibson. Way to keep pressure on that. You don't want to let them play around out there. Force the issue.
Yeah, they're keeping them out high early in this possession. They're trying to work it down. Just a little bit late on the arrival for those poles. He tried to put a little body on the guy, but he already had it. Shot, high goal, corner. 4-2 Lakers. As the final seconds of this third quarter tick down, the Lakers will take a 2-goal lead, 4-2, Prior Lake over our beloved Eagan Wildcats. Horn blows, quarter 4 coming up next, right, Scott?
Yeah, boy, 3 quarters in the book, and, we've got some question marks about the team in blue. They just haven't established anything yet offensively today. There's 12 minutes to go.
There is.
That can change fast. Conversation down in the team huddle right now has to be like, all right, we got to play a little smarter on our own end. They're coming after us. They're aggressive. They're not giving us an inch. We got to be smart lacrosse players. And all the things I think we talked about in the first games we did was passing, timing, teamwork. Everyone's moving. Here we are in a tight contest and not seeing as much of that. Is the defense creating some of that? They certainly are. But you got to go back to what you do. You got to play the game, play your game, and create your opportunities and get some shots. And on the defensive end, we had a couple little breakdowns, and our defense hasn't had as much work this year. They're earning their paychecks today.
Well, and again, maybe it's not as big a coincidence that both teams are having some possession issues with passing the ball and catching it. Lungs are, rib cages are expanding much bigger in this warmer weather. Arms are heavier, feet are heavier. But the bottom line is you need to overcome that. Mm-hmm. And moving into quarter 4, whether you're up 2 or down 2, it's essentially a tie game.
Right.
So you need to find out what's going to be done here to make the difference as we head into as we get close to the final here, the final horn.
Well, I think the next goal is pretty key here.
I would agree.
Seeing that Eagan's having a little trouble getting some offense generated. If they're down 5-2, it's tricky. If they can get that next one, game on. We've got 12 minutes to go. Big face-off win here. Certainly time to make something happen.
Yeah, we got a full quarter. It's not like we're right down near the wire here when you have to start thinking about getting shots. But I would agree, the next goal it could be pivotal. Who can overcome the heat, essentially. Lakeville, the Wildcats with possession after winning the face-off, getting the touch and moving in, but not protecting the stick. And you leave it hang out there, and I mean, it's pretty common. It gets chopped away.
Boy, that was Michael Pavic, big face-off win, and couldn't maintain possession.
Lakers bring it in, getting their touch. Setting up for that perimeter game. And again, there's a lot of, the poles and the defense in general, you're moving more than the offense maybe is when you're in this perimeter mode. And on a day like today, weather-wise, if you move less than your opponent, you might have an advantage.
Yeah, you sure will.
Keeping them at bay like we had for the early part of a possession on that fourth goal. But there you go, right there. 2 body shots and a little stick check, and the ball did come loose. 2
nice
body
play.
shots,
Yep.
and the guy ran around him, so you have to keep your feet. You got to stay squared up and be anticipating where that guy's going.
Boy, again, a forced turnover. I believe it was Colby Sorensen forced the turnover.
Sure.
We picked it up. Looked like that was Spencer Stark came up the field. Errant pass. I feel like I've said that 10 or 11 or 12 times today. But
it's been a recurring issue, and one that's kind of hurt us because, I mean, that's just an unforced error, as we say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you don't like to see what's happening right here, right now. Big save. Yeah, I mean, again, too, you can't say enough about staying between the man with the ball and the goalie.
Right, that player on Prior Lake had a unabated trip to the goal, and Zach Wallach came up with a big save there.
It's frightening for anybody in the box, anybody in the stands if you're wearing green and blue, and certainly for, the Wildcats on the sideline. Don't let it happen. Turnover, Cats bring it up, protect the ball until you can get some space.
Get it hands of a short stick.
Precisely.
There we go. All right.
We got possession back. Let's see if we can whittle into this. Only a 2-goal lead.
Boy, they're not giving us. Are we gonna? Nope. Another one.
And I think a lot of it is it's just the brains aren't syncing. There wasn't anything wrong with that pass except for the fact that the guy who was getting it was moving in the opposite direction.
As the ball, right.
And maybe the guy who was intended to get the pass should be going to greener pastures and not, getting into the sideline and into the corner. Lakers bringing it in and getting their touch. Number 54, one of the smaller players on that team. We don't have a program, but he's directing traffic and kind of keeping it moving for the Prior Lake team.
Wyatt Bucky applying the pressure at the top there. Good. Use that long stick. Force him to make a move. If you got a 6 to 7 inch height advantage, you've got a 6 to 7 inch swing span, and then you've got that long pull. Use it. Force that smaller player to make a decision. And Wyatt did that in that case. I thought it was a good.
Over and back. Again, the result of yet another misshapen pass and catch sequence. Cats ball, got the touch. We'll try this again.
All right, let's. Wow, another.
Well, a nice, well-placed blue jersey to scoop up that and kind of get things reset. Doesn't seem to be a ton of movement, and as such, we're passing the guys that are halfway stationary. And it's not hard to defend that necessarily.
No, and Prior Lake is putting bodies on our guys. Oh, no.
Yeah,
once again.
Yeah, I mean, again, perfect. Had that pass connected, Verbeck would have had a really, really nice look. But again, he's moving just a little bit out of that area where that pass is going. Prior Lake ball up to just under 8 minutes remaining in this ball game.
That's 3 consecutive possessions now. Eagan has, I guess, squandered. We don't know if we got a shot out of any of those possessions.
I don't think we did.
Right.
Big save. Pole's trying to keep him at bay here. Stand your ground. Diffley standing his ground, probably with a distinct height advantage over that Prior Lake individual. There, that's perfect. You know what? Yeah, I mean, you know, again, you don't want to go down, but if you're not going to see where the flags are at,
Right.
Otherwise they're just moving the ball around waiting for a shot. So, you know, so be it. It is what it is. We go man down for 30.
And I don't, you know, boy, if again, if he doesn't make that play, I don't know if that player doesn't get around and get a pretty good looking shot.
Well, there's an awful lot of traffic out front. That's not helping. And if he gets a shot in and he just kind of whips it around, I mean, it's a very high percentage shot. Yes, we're down a man for the next 25 seconds, but that's ticking away. So we'll be all right here. They're a little more purposeful when they're on the man down. So you'd think that there'd be some big advantage.
All right. So
there we go. Turnover. Cats.
Great possession. Now we got to move it up the field. And, boy, I'd like to try to not give it away here.
One pole to another pole, and there's probably an extra one out there at the moment. Now we're back to full strength.
Yeah, good penalty kill.
Yeah.
You got to get a good look at the net this time.
Yeah, undoubtedly.
Still 5.5 to go, but at running time, that doesn't leave you a lot of possessions, right?
No, it goes quickly, especially if Prior Lake decides to shut it down a little bit and really start looking for that great shot.
Billy definitely bringing it in at top here. Another little bobbled pass there.
You almost, you're thinking that, again, the clock being a factor as well, you almost think, let her rip. I mean,
yeah.
The percentage has not been as high as it's been in recent games with the connections on these passes. Let her rip. Can't score unless you shoot it anyhow. And the Laker goalie saying, hey, look at me. And it looks like maybe a timeout. What do we got? Timeout, White.
Yep. I would imagine they're going to be discussing 4:46 left in the game. And
protecting the ball.
Eagan's had 4 possessions in the fourth quarter. Not a shot to show for it. And I think to your point, Ken, at this point, you fire away.
Yeah, you have to, now.
You got to get something at the net. You got to create shots. You try and get one in at this point.
Yeah, and I don't think that there's any need to take, blatantly low percentage shots. But, I mean, we've had the ball inside and really getting up near the crease, and we dump it out. And that's a first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, even game, down a couple, up 3 or 4. We're down to 4 minutes to play. If you get a look, take a shot. See what happens. And, again, like you said, the Lakers are probably deciding, hey, how can we protect and possess the ball for as much of this 446 as we can.
Right, that's exactly what they're talking about.
Yeah. So we want that ball back, and when we do, we want to put it towards the net.
Yeah, Eagan's got to make the possessions count. I mean, they've created turnovers, forced Prior Lake into some mistakes, a couple of big saves by Zach Wallet, the goalie, and you got to convert on some of those, right? For a team that, 14, 13, 12 goals, big ground ball wide there.
He's going to get a few shots at it. Finally gets it to stick to the head of his stick. Now, don't panic. Find a short stick. And
well, we're going to end up with that one. But, again, a great play, great ground ball pickup by Wyatt Bucky. And we almost gave it away.
So now I think they've been instructed that while we don't have to get crazy here, when you get a look, and this could be that look right there. There we go.
Yeah, that's it. You know what? That was the first time we saw, I would say, an aggressive move to the goal in the fourth quarter.
Yep, and again, too, earlier in the game, maybe not with that much of an aggressive move and being that unabated. Earlier in the game, just a little more defense. They would push it back out to the perimeter. Let's not get hasty here, boys. But no, at this stage of the game, you got to cut her down to 1. So it's a 4-3 game, 3:44 and running here on this Monday afternoon in Prior Lake.
I think one of the things Prior Lake is doing well, they're pressing down on our attackmen really good. They're giving us a little more room up top. Probably some opportunities for our middies. Our goals today, 2 middies and an attack. Typically the attacks are going to get a little bit more of those. let's see if we can pick up a big ground ball
Yeah,
here.
follow the bouncing ball. We all know how important ground balls are. You know, the Lakers
There,
realize
that's a
it
big
as well,
one.
and that is a big one. And he might have gotten hasty, but somehow he got that ball back, or he never passed it in the first place. There we go.
I believe it was Carter Starkey that came with that in the first place. Okay. Nobody wants to catch the ball today.
Yeah, everything's a little sketchier than under normal circumstances, but we're down 1, under 3 to play, with the ball. Diffley trying to get himself a look with a shot and a goal.
There we go. That's the recipe we were talking about.
And that's a middle of the road percentage shot. I
No,
mean,
right.
He's got ample. He's not in the goalie's face. He's moving around the defenseman. But the difference is, in this point, is that we're running out of time.
Right. Yeah.
So you make that shot, and the goalie knows it too. He's like, hey, if I don't stop this, it's a new ball game.
Yep. And
so,
there again, attacks that we were Prior Lake was clamped down on our attacks. They don't have a lot of room today. Middle of the field, there's a lane there. Billy Diffley makes a nice move and had some real estate to work with. No different than
and he's
the
a big
previous
kid
goal.
too, so he's able to create space, and the head of his stick is well away from the of the defender. So little movement, and the Lakers will pick up possession here. One of their little speedsters has got the ball trying to work his way inside, and probably should have met a blue jersey within reason. You don't want to take a penalty now unless you absolutely have to.
Big, okay, turnout. Boy, we got to be smarter with the ball.
Well, and again, too, it's play the bouncing ball game here. So with 2 white jerseys, just kind of lofting her down and seeing what happens was that last move. And the Cats got lucky again. If he doesn't get pushed out of bounds, yeah, that's exactly what you do. It would be a great time for a timeout, although we did create some space. And the Cats are going to try to set up here now if they can slow it down.
Yeah, now you got to be smart. Look at the aggressiveness there of the pole. Really pressing. I believe it's John Henning.
And, I don't think you play for a last shot. I think now you play for that goal and to win that next face-off.
Well, and we saw what the recipe was on the last 2 goals.
Yep.
Get it to attack up high, get him into a shooting lane, and make something happen. That's certainly something you could go back to.
Watch the Ward there. Yeah, and that's like I say, up to this point in the game, they may have looked those opportunities in the mouth. Big shot.
That's going to be blue ball. Now, boy, a timeout would seem to be possibly in order here.
I would think so. And even when we were pinned up on the sideline, did they just call it or no?
No.
Huh. Okay, well, we definitely.
Well, now Prior Lake's got the ball.
Timeout white, maybe. Possession blue.
Okay, now do you call a timeout? Somebody.
Clock has stopped with 14 seconds remaining. Looks like the blue finally got the timeout. Nobody wanted possession on that last little exchange, which is unfortunate for both teams because he who has the ball with 15 seconds left in a tie game tends to do well. Are they discussing? They put 4 seconds back on the clock.
Yeah, it looks like that's happened here. They went to the booth, which I think is us, and provided that we have the ball, we're thrilled to have those 4 seconds back.
Yeah, we'll take it. And again, too, there should be just enough time to get a shot off.
Well, and here I think if you're discussing which out of this situation, you're running a set play, I think you give your guys option 1 and 2. If option 1's not there, be smart, step back, and let's look for option 2 because you don't want to give them the ball with 13 seconds to go. You want to put a ball in the net and have that clock read 3 or 4 seconds. All right, so we're going to have 18 seconds to go.
18 ticks in this 4-4 game. Wildcats with the ball. Refs checking personnel issues.
I think you carry it in, bring it down low, get it to your X, and run your play. I think that's what you do here. And or one possibility is run it from the top. Cole Gibson's going to take it in, make a dodge. Got to make something happen here.
Yeah, you're running out of time now. Yeah. It's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you need to get a shot off. I mean, I think that's fairly fundamental. It's unfortunate. It is what it is. So
Yeah, I mean, Cole Gibson takes a dodge. It wasn't there. Went back up top. It was where the passing lane was. So I guess Eagan rallied to tie the
Sure,
game.
absolutely.
Things were looking a little bleak early in the quarter. Nothing was happening, and converted on a couple of those turnovers. Got a couple nice looks, and got the game tied. I guess that's the positive we can take out of this.
Well,
right?
and if you look at, we're describing this bleak situation, but the scoreboard never really reflected it. If it was two finely tuned and executing squads and precision play running and just great defense, that'd be one thing. There was a lot of sloppy play on both sides of the ball. Maybe it was the heat. Maybe it was the fact that both teams were actually physically matched up for the first time this year. But in any event, Eagan did rally to tie this game. We'll take it to the books as a tie, 4-4 Eagan in Prior Lake against the JV of the Lakers. The varsity game, Scott's coming up later. Probably another somewhat similar test of Will's.
Yeah, I would expect we'll see a game possibly a little more crisply executed than this.
Hopefully.
But we're going to see a tight game, and it's going to come down to what this did. This came down to the last possession, and you know what? We're asking, are we going to get a competitive game this year? We did,
Yeah,
and this is good.
absolutely.
This is going to be good for the guys to go back to the drawing board like, all right, we've got some things we need to polish up here as we head into the middle, into the back half of our schedule.
Well, it looks like the girls are going to take the field here for some more lacrosse, and we're going to take her down for a while, and we'll be back later on with their varsity tilt. Scott, Ken, Jesse, and Kevin. YouTube Universe 4-4 tie, the Lakers of Prior Lake and our beloved Eagan Wildcats.